So, Toyin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Beautiful.
here. I'm here. I'm on
Welcome.
camera now.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you for having me here, Claudius. It was nice meeting you over the Zoom. My name is TK Ajayi. I am the founder of Canadian Black Farmers Association. We are all across. We operate all across Canada. Our mission is to, break down the barrier of having more Black people into agricultural sector. Myself, I'll give a little bit of myself. I've been in Canada for over 24 years, and I've been farming in Canada for 23 years. For that all that year, I come to realize that the industry really don't have currently now the whole Black people in the agricultural sector in Canada, we are like 0.02%. Even many of our lately, after I created the Canadian Black Farmer, I realized that some people they have farm, but they don't know how to access a lot of opportunity that goes with that farming and all other resources that are available for farmers. So for me, coming into the industry, I see it's a lot of people that they they want to, but because of land access and all other things, and looking at the industry because there's no much, you can't see any, can't like where I am. It took me. I don't think I've actually seen any Black person who owns a farm right now in BC until maybe 2 years ago or last year. Somebody was trying to lease somewhere. And I saw that the way these things are going, there's no reason why we can't be in the industry. So I started going to looking at different things about what will really benefit our community. So all those things kind of like came together to me. So farming in the industry for so long, understanding the system, knowing how the ins and outs, gave me a little bit idea about how it can also benefit the people in the Black community. So I started for the past 15 years. I started talking to people. Sometimes I'll bring them to the farm. So which my first job on the farm is ranching. I always ride the horses, run with the cows, get them off the field. Then I started going dairy farming. So all those life that I've lived on the farm kind of prepared me to when I finally decided to go fully into trying to empower and educate more of the people in the Black community. Although farming is a passion, you can't just say you're gonna wake up one day you're gonna be a farmer. Farming is a lot of work. I got that from 5 years of age when I was when I started going to the farm back in Nigeria with my grandfather, and that kind of like gave me a little head start. And since then, I've been kind of feel like maybe I'm born to be a farmer. So that farming opportunity from my early age kind of helped me to today to be able to uh, put my foot on the ground and to be able to face a lot of challenges that I have faced, I have met during this whole journey. So right now, for the past 6 years, I just decided to focus on strictly African foods, culturally preferred foods. So with all my experience in Canada for over 23 years, understanding the system, seeing how the system is, and seeing the opportunity that I see that many of people in the Black community cannot see, that is one of the things that motivated me. I said, you know what? I have benefited for the agricultural sector in this country. I'm going to try and do something to see if it's to let our people in the Black community in order to use to be able to empower them and get them started and bring them into the agricultural industry. So that is why I started the Canadian Black Farmers. And before Canadian Black Farmers, I have a Karakata Africa village, which a property I purchased like an hour and a half out of the city, just for me to be able to find a location whereby I can turn to like experimental ground for our culturally preferred food, mostly like a tropical food, crops and vegetables. So that is what I've been doing for the past 6 years. And then after 2, 3 years, I realized that this is working. I started with practically not using any technology, not using any fertilizer. I was just using my goat herd manures to fertilize the soil. So I started working on the soil, coming up with different ideas, trying to practice very practical, organic form of agriculture, like what I've learned from my grandfather. So I started looking for a way to make the soil that will work perfectly for the tropical crops and vegetables. So I end up creating loamy soil. So that loamy soil, after 2 years of trying to experiment different crops or like okra or all other things, and now in my property, I realized that without that type of soil, with the natural nutrients that I got from the manure from my goats that I mix with the soil, it's actually gonna, without that it will be very, very difficult. But the moment I started using the manures and everything, bringing silt, sand, and clay together, everything I've been trying to do before, growing before, like yam, like cassava, like all kind of different ones, I started seeing results like water yam, even cocoa yam. So all those things that people would not think is possible, I just started trying. I guess I may be lucky because I'm in BC. We have 5 full months in BC to grow anything tropical because of our weather. So I guess that's why a lot of those success came by too. So from there, it grew. I ended up founding Canadian Black Farmer 2 years ago, almost 3 years now. And then from there, the purpose of that is to use it in such a way to be able to empower many people in our community, which has been a long time. From all the years I've been farming in Canada, I've had a plan, but things kind of fall into place, and then I created the organization. So the organization now is being supported fully by the Agri Canada, which is Agri University. They've been really supporting us, and a lot of different big name funders. They come to our head. They've been supporting us, and it's been growing. So lately now, in the past 3 years, I've also been, I mean, 2 years, I've become like working on how can I get more people, because we'll be trying. I've approached the government, all levels of government. I have direct access to the federal minister, provincial, and everyone. I have tried everything possible because of the land access, which is the major barrier for anybody in the black community to get into agriculture, which is for everybody anyways. So that, it looks like it's very difficult, not something that is easy like that. Then I started getting more different people, like investors involved. Me being an entrepreneur, getting some more investors, and one or two or three. So trying to bring people together, combine buying. Let's use it. We have to take over our own food sovereignty, our own food system, because most of the food that is in the West makes majority of people in the Black African Caribbean community, especially the Africans, make them, they, it creates kind of like health issues for most people in our community, which I've seen. So, but growing our culturally preferred food here, it's something that it's a no-brainer. So, but because of the weather, most people think it's not possible. So now that I've shown that it's possible, a lot of people are coming on board. And I remember one day when I was talking with the federal minister, I said, for agriculture, I said, do you know 90 to 95% of the food that most Africans eat in Canada, 90 to 95 of the food still come from our country of origin? They were like, what? I said, yes. I said, that's why I'm trying to push this program. If it's 10% to 20% of our crops and vegetables we can grow in Canada, that will be a very big game changer. And most of those who want to bring it to Canada, half of them sometimes is unedible. It's not well like preserved. So most of the time, the importers will just lose the money because the custom will not let it enter Canada. Food and Security Canada, they won't let it in. So all those things is what kind of came together why I formed the Canadian Black Farmer. So lately now, we're now doing goat banking. I came up with goat banking because I see that a lot of people cannot access the land or whatever. I said, okay, what other way I can use to get people involved. So that's why I came up with the concept of goat banking. The goat banking is to give everybody opportunity, to give them a head start in the agricultural sector. Within 5 years, you know, you can almost literally have a whole herd, a whole full herd, and you can start just to get them started in a smaller way with the resources I have and with other resources that we just got to get people more involved. So that is another thing that we're doing now, which a lot of people really loved. And we've also created like where I'm trying to train a lot of our people how to actually use their agriculture. Many of our people actually did agriculture back home, but because of the land and the system, it's kind of a barrier for them. So breaking down those barriers, letting them see the opportunity in it, and giving them the hope and confidence that it's doable. It's what we've been doing, and so far so good. It's been great. Yeah, that is something about me, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been growing and growing, and we have different members all across Canada.
So what I'm taking from your message is you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great. And that was through Les Brown, and it relates to farming and what we do. Thank you, Toyin, so much.